Hello comrades, this is Shetty, and welcome to my 2019 Thanksgiving special. So Thanksgiving is a wonderful holiday whenever families come together and eat an awesome meal. So I thought for this year's Thanksgiving special, I would take a look at one of the best Thanksgiving movies and do my review of it, that film being Thankskilling. So this movie came out in 2008 to negative reviews, with IMDb giving it a 4.9 out of 10. The director of the film is Jordan Downey, and the budget was $3,500. And I've seen a lot of bad movies, I've reviewed a lot of bad movies on the channel, but this stands out as one of the worst movies I've ever seen. This is horrible, and keep in mind, I've seen The Amazing Bulk, Sinister Squad, The Calling, The Hatred, Bleed. But with those films, at least there's some sort of entertainment to be found. They're so bad, they're good. But with this, it's so bad, and there's really no good whatsoever. So the movie begins with the origin of the turkey, and yes, the killer in this movie is a turkey that talks and does like all these weird one-liners, and it's not funny whatsoever. They try to make it funny, but it just doesn't work. And this is overall just a really bad scene. Then we're introduced to our main characters. They're these 5 college kids who are going home for Thanksgiving, and they're just as bad as you think. And then we are introduced to the hermit, who just gives an excellent performance.
I will get you, turkey. I'll get you if it's the last thing I ever do, you son of a bitch!
I'm very surprised he wasn't nominated for anything. He's basically responsible for this whole movie. It's his fault that the turkey comes up, but they really redeem his character. And then, so the turkey goes after the college kids, and that's basically the film. Where do I start with this movie? First off, the cast is horrible. Some of the worst performances that I've seen, and that's partially because of the script, which is also terrible. I thought this would at least be an entertaining movie, but this is one of the most boring movies I've seen ever, and it's only an hour and 6 minutes long. I do think there is some stuff in the movie that's actually pretty impressive, especially just considering how low the budget is, such as the gore. It's actually pretty decent, but that's really my only positive for the movie. There's just stuff in this film that doesn't make any sense. For instance, whenever we see the origin of the turkey, it takes place on the first Thanksgiving, which, as many of you know, took place in 1621, and then later on in the film, we learn the turkey comes up every 505 years. So that would mean this movie takes place in 2126, which, boy, technology has not advanced whatsoever in the universe that this is set in, because they're still using flip phones and driving jeeps. You'd think in 100 years they would be in like floating cars or whatever, and there's just stuff in the movie that I really don't like. That's the thing that I don't like about this film, is that you can tell they really didn't care. It's really poorly made. Like I said, that doesn't even make any sense. Why wouldn't they, do the math and try to make it seem like it takes 400 and so years, so it would take place whatever year this film is set in, which this came out in 2008. And with this movie, you can just tell that they don't care. They knew where they were making a bad movie from the start, and that's probably the thing I don't like about this movie. At least with films like The Amazing Bulk and Bleed and some other bad movies, there's this sort of charm to them that really makes them entertaining, but with this movie, it just doesn't have it. This is just a bad movie, and you can very much tell that the filmmakers didn't really care whatsoever about this movie, and that's why I really don't like it. This is a horrible movie, probably the worst movie I've ever seen. I would not recommend checking it out whatsoever. If I'm going to be honest, I couldn't even finish watching the movie. I still had like 10 minutes left, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to watch this. And there was also ads in this movie, which made it even worse, honestly. And big shout out to Dead Meat, because if it weren't for his kill count on this film, then this video would have never come out. So make sure to go check out his video. He has a lot of really good points about the film. But guys, overall, I hated this movie. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Hopefully you guys did have a good Thanksgiving. And right now, I'm going to give Thankskilling a 2 out of 10. Probably next year, I will take a look at the sequel, which I'm already dreading. I'm so confused by the sequel because it's titled Thankskilling Sequel, but the poster says Thankskilling 3, so I'm very confused by that. But definitely stay tuned for next year whenever I will do a review of that. And I obviously will have videos coming out, in the future, so obviously stay tuned for those. And yeah, hopefully you guys did have a good Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys next time. This is Shai signing off. Peace out.